The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
P. Diddy in the restroom of the Met. It was the women's room. That's why I was there. Okay. Dry humping a Kardashian.
I heard the dry humping anecdote, but I don't think you revealed the name.
We love you.
We love you.
Love. Quincy. Going, Chris.
Love you guys. Love you.
Love. Till we'll meet on the dance floor soon.
Oh,
Done deal.
please.
Done deal.
Yes.
No doubt.
Give the
love.
best parties. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
Did y'all know that Khloe Kardashian was on tour with Diddy when she was 16 years old?
What if I told you that the Kardashians, the reality TV dynasty that built an empire on glam, gossip, and glorified chaos, might now be on the verge of a federal investigation? Yeah, we're talking about the most controversial family in Hollywood, the ones who gave us contouring tutorials, broke the internet with a champagne glass on a booty, and turned their dating history into a tabloid's greatest hits collection. The family that made keeping up a global obsession and turned drama into dollars. But now, that carefully crafted empire is starting to crack because whispers are getting louder, and the receipts are piling up, dragging them to the mess Diddy started. As a result, they're being tied to one of the biggest celebrity criminal cases of the century. And the deeper you dig, the more it looks like the Kardashians weren't just innocent bystanders. From long-standing relationships with Diddy and his inner circle to new bombshells involving secret footage, underground tunnels, and even claims of hush money moving through their church, this story's going from scandalous to downright sinister. And just when you think you've heard it all, a major media figure claims she saw Diddy getting little too intimate with a Kardashian in the women's bathroom at the Met Gala. Now, that's some crazy tea. This ain't just another Kardashian scandal. Let's get that straight, because now that Diddy is in the center of one of the biggest lawsuits in Hollywood, everyone is trying to find the connection. Now, this isn't Kim dropping a perfume line or Khloe clapping back at a troll on Instagram. This is way deeper, way darker, and way more real, especially now that the FBI is circling Sean Diddy Combs like vultures on a carcass. And if we take into consideration the fact that authorities mentioned multiple times that Diddy did not act alone, things are getting interesting. If proven true, celebs who attended these infamous Diddy party might possibly find themselves in the same place with Diddy, specifically behind bars.
It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that.
From underage partying with Diddy to long-time relationships with his closest associates, to now being name-dropped in connection with some wild behavior at the freak-off parties that allegedly doubled as blackmail central, this isn't a rumor mill anymore. The Kardashians might just be dodging subpoenas in designer heels. And just when you think this story couldn't get more unhinged, boom. Megyn Kelly drops a bombshell claiming she personally witnessed Diddy doing some inappropriate thing with a Kardashian inside a women's bathroom during a previous Met Gala. Yeah, you heard that right. So how did America's favorite reality TV family go from Calabasas royalty to potentially hiding out in Europe while the feds build their case? It all starts way back in the early 2000s. Remember, this was before Kim was a billionaire, before Kylie had a cosmetics empire, before Kris Jenner trademarked the term momager. There was Diddy, and Diddy was everywhere. Now Kim Kardashian wasn't just some B-list party girl at the time. She had connections. She was already orbiting high society circles, thanks to her infamous friendship with Paris Hilton, ties to the O.J. Simpson trial via her father, and her quiet but strategic climb through the Hollywood ranks. By 2006, she's at Diddy's infamous white party in the Hamptons, arm in arm with Paris, dressed in all white, sipping cocktails alongside A-listers. But this wasn't your average red carpet shindig. No. According to new allegations, these weren't just lavish, exclusive parties. They were something darker. Allegedly, these were covert freak-offs, elaborate, drug-fueled blackmail setups disguised as VIP soirees, where celebrities were plied with substances, recorded, and later manipulated with the footage. Fast forward a few years. Kim and Diddy are friendly on red carpets. They're seen together at basketball games. He's present at events hosted by the Kardashians. Kanye West, Kim's soon-to-be husband at the time, even publicly credits Diddy for inspiring him to settle down and choose Kim as his wife.
He inspired so many of my choices, so many of my life choices, my wife choices.
And on the surface, it all looks innocent. Normal celebrity networking, until now. Because behind the curated selfies and Skims campaigns, a viral TikTok has reignited something far more disturbing. It claims the FBI allegedly found tapes of Kim at Diddy's house. Not just attending, not just mingling, but doing things. Explicit things. Things that allegedly involve drugging and manipulation of high-profile men. And those videos? Said to be used as leverage. Blackmail material. The rumor was so explosive, Kim's legal team allegedly issued cease and desist letters to squash it before it gained traction. Now is that confirmed? Not officially. But let's be real. When a Kardashian scandal disappears faster than a Met Gala gown post-red carpet, there's usually a fire under that smoke. Kris Jenner isn't called the devil who works hard, but she works harder for nothing. Damage control is what she does best. But this time, it's different. Because Kim isn't just trying to brush off another tabloid rumor or Instagram troll. This isn't a Photoshop fail or stolen design scandal. This is serious. The kind of federal-level, cross-examined, multiple-victim, high-profile predator serious. And while Kim's handled controversy before, from sex tapes to political backlash being tied to an alleged international sex trafficking ring, that's a whole different beast. Especially when she's built her public image on prison reform and advocating for wrongfully convicted men. The irony is sharp. The woman who once stood in the White House beside Donald Trump to speak about second chances for prisoners might now be dodging questions about her own past behind Diddy's closed doors. And though she's no stranger to Hollywood drama, this Diddy mess is on another level. The internet doesn't forget. And the deeper the trial goes, the more eyes are turning to Kim. Not for her fashion, not for her business moves, but for what she may have seen and what she might know. Because in a world where silence often speaks louder than words, Kim's silence is deafening, especially for someone who had been very outspoken to becoming a lawyer. Fans were expecting Kim to actually say something. Not nope, there was not statement whatsoever. But believe it or not, Kim wasn't even the first Kardashian to get tied up with Diddy. That title goes to Khloe.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far
French
so good.
Montana.
Do you even know half the people you're naming?
Khloe Kardashian's connection to Diddy goes all the way back to her teenage years. Literally. She met Diddy when she was just 16 years old. Let that sink in. While most teens were prepping for prom or cramming for finals, Khloe was interning for one of the most powerful and controversial moguls in the music industry. At 16, she wasn't just fetching coffee. She was allegedly touring with him, hanging out in studios, and yes, partying with him. And if that sounds far-fetched, don't take our word for it. Scott Disick casually confirmed it himself on an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, saying they were on tour with Puff when Khloe was 16.
Definitely was drinking at 16. I did not start drinking till late.
Khloe doesn't deny it either. She even jokes about it with Diddy years later when he appeared as a guest on her short-lived talk show, Cocktails with Khloe, in 2016. They laughed and reminisced like longtime besties, or something more, and the energy between them was undeniably familiar. But what's really raising eyebrows now is the timing of Khloe's initial connection to Diddy. Around the same time she was interning for him, Khloe got into a mysterious, near-fatal car crash. She says she was speeding and someone ran a red light, causing her to sustain serious brain trauma and knee damage. She still wears a brace to this day and has admitted to ongoing memory loss from the crash. Now, are we saying Diddy caused the accident? Absolutely not. But in the context of what we now know about his parties, the drugs, the pressure, the chaos, it does make people look back and wonder what kind of environment Khloe might have been exposed to at such a young age. The red flags don't stop there. In a 2014 episode of Keeping Up, Khloe opens up to Kourtney about attending one of Diddy's parties, a gathering that, in hindsight, sounds eerily similar to the freak-offs now under federal investigation. She casually name-drops Diddy, Quincy Brown, Justin Bieber, and French Montana, her then-boyfriend, like they were just your average group of close-knit pals. But then she says something that feels a lot more ominous now. Khloe just casually claimed that people at those Diddy parties were butt naked. That wasn't just a house party. That was something else entirely. And given what we now know about Diddy's freak-offs, multi-day sex parties involving illicit substances and sex workers being allegedly coerced and recorded, it's hard to brush that off as a harmless joke. Khloe's connection to Diddy didn't fade over time either. She stayed close. In 2019, she attended Diddy's celebrity-stacked 50th birthday bash alongside Kim and Kylie.
So fun. Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff. You do. But we've been known to party with you a few times. What are I don't know, you were just at Puff's birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
No, that was an epic night too. Every night.
Why was it so epic?
That night was fun because all the girls ditched me. So I was like me and the boys.
She even posted a photo from the event to her Instagram with the caption, "Nothing like a Diddy party," a sentiment that hits a little different in 2025. And while some might say this is all just celebrity networking, casual friendships in Hollywood, the sheer frequency and intimacy of Khloe's connection to Diddy suggest otherwise. She was there, often, at the parties, on the guest lists, at the Vegas clubs. Even the 2016 episode of Cocktails with Khloe has Khloe and Kourtney bantering with Diddy about his party reputation. And here's the kicker. Khloe wasn't just popping in and out of these events. She was deep in Diddy's circle. He's the one who allegedly helped set her up with French Montana. Khloe later revealed that she met French while he was in the studio with Diddy, Rick Ross, and Meek Mill. Diddy was the one who played matchmaker, texting Khloe on French's behalf. Even after their breakup, Khloe and Diddy stayed cool. In fact, Diddy publicly supported Khloe's ventures and appeared on her show with zero hesitation. That kind of loyalty doesn't come from a few red carpet run-ins. That's a long-term bond, a relationship rooted in trust, or perhaps secrecy. With Diddy now facing multiple federal charges, racketeering, sex trafficking, unlawful transportation, it's no surprise the feds are digging into every name that regularly popped up at his infamous parties. And you better believe Khloe's name is on that list. What's truly wild is that despite all this, Khloe has been completely silent. Not a single post, not a single comment, nothing about the arrest, nothing about the parties. And let's be real, Khloe isn't usually one to stay quiet. She's known for clapping back, for posting cryptic quotes, for defending her image. So what does it mean when even she goes radio silent? Maybe it means she knows more than she's letting on. Which is the exact same case with that of Kim. I mean, for this sisters to actually stop talking about Diddy. Pretty suspicious, right? Now here's where it gets straight out of a spy movie. Corey Gamble. You know, Kris Jenner's mysterious boyfriend who appeared out of nowhere and somehow went from background extra to inner circle operator in the blink of an eye? Yeah, well, he's not just Kris's +1 on the red carpet. Allegedly, Corey is Diddy's right-hand man, and possibly his longtime plant inside the Kardashian empire. There are photos of Corey chillin' with Diddy's kids way before he ever popped up on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, even called Corey family. And Diddy himself? He dubbed Corey Mr. Dependable. Not because he's loyal to Kris, but because he was the go-to guy for handling business and talent in Diddy's chaotic orbit. And who did Corey end up managing not long after he got tight with Diddy? None other than Justin Bieber.
There's no doubt in my mind that Corey Gamble is heavily involved with Diddy. I mean, keep in mind that Corey Gamble was hired to be Justin Bieber's handler at some point, probably trying to keep Justin from speaking about the things that he had seen.
One of Diddy's young mentees, who's also been rumored multiple times to be a potential victim of Diddy's twisted mentorship. It's not a coincidence that Corey was placed so close to someone who's allegedly part of Diddy's circle of control. People are starting to wonder, was Corey there to protect Bieber or keep him quiet? Now, Kanye West didn't mince words when he called out Corey. In one of his infamous Twitter rants, Ye literally said Corey was CIA, yeah, as in undercover Fed-level shady.
We've also seen Corey at the scene of Kim Porter's home when her body was found. Now, why was he there? To clean up that mess? I have a bunch of questions for Corey Gamble, but my first one is, why are you even here? Keep in mind, Kanye called him out plenty for never bringing his family around, and for the Kardashians' lack of understanding of who Corey Gamble really is.
And while some laughed it off as another Ye meltdown, now, with Diddy being raided by Homeland Security and multiple federal investigations underway, Kanye's claims are sounding a lot less like paranoia and a lot more like prophecy. But buckle up, because it gets even darker. Corey was allegedly present at Kim Porter's house around the time she died. Officially, her cause of death was listed as pneumonia. But here's the twist. Kim was reportedly working on a tell-all book about Diddy when she passed. The timing? Suspicious. The silence around Corey's involvement? Deafening. And then there's Kris Jenner, the ultimate momager, the queen of optics, the puppet master of public perception. For someone who's known for oversharing and making drama her brand, she's been eerily silent since Diddy's homes got raided by Homeland Security on March 25th. TikTok lit up with conspiracy theories. Some creators swore Kris had fled the country, and there were wild rumors that both Kris and Corey were caught on Diddy's tapes. Unfounded? Maybe. But here's the thing. When people started asking where Kris was, poof. She reappeared on Instagram like nothing happened, smiling at a red carpet event and launching a spring cleaning campaign. Seriously? Spring cleaning? While the internet thinks you're running from the feds? But don't let that PR sparkle fool you. Kris met Corey back in 2014 at a party in Ibiza. Who else was at that party? Oh, just Diddy.
And he hasn't left yet with
Not
all of
yet.
our craziness.
Corey was somebody also that had been in his career, had worked with a high-profile person, and he was very well aware of how a life like this goes and
That's true.
all the things that came with it. And we would walk into a restaurant in another country and walk into the George Cinq in Paris, and they would go, Corey, and whisk us right back into the table that, blah, 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 and through the kitchen so we could get out of there. And, he knew all about security and all about all
The man Kris has taken countless cozy pics with. The man she invited on her short-lived talk show. The man who helped launch Kylie's 18th birthday bash. They've been tight for over a decade, and no one climbs Kris Jenner's inner circle ladder unless she wants them there. And what's even more suspect? While Kris is posting carefully curated photos and clapping back at rumors with spring cleaning challenges, Corey's social media presence has been dead silent. The timing? Kinda perfect if you're trying to stay off the radar. Sure, Kris posted a date night pic with Corey on April 11th. They're both dressed in black like they're headed to a secret society meeting. But that's just it. Everything about this feels staged, like Kris is running a preemptive cleanup op before the feds start knocking on Calabasas gates. The truth is, the Kardashians have been side by side with Diddy at some of the wildest, most high-profile events for years. And if Diddy's under investigation for freak-offs, blackmail, and sex trafficking, who's to say his closest allies aren't being looked at too? Kris Jenner didn't build an empire by playing dumb. She knows where the bodies are buried, figuratively and maybe literally. If anyone has the connections, the money, and the PR muscle to keep a secret like this buried deep, it's Kris. And with Corey allegedly tied to Diddy's most controversial operations, including managing Bieber, hanging with Kim Porter before her death, and running in the same creepy circles, the walls are closing in. So, are Kris and Corey just innocent bystanders? Or are they the smartest operators in the room, scrubbing their tracks while the storm brews? We don't really know. But here's what's crazy. The Kardashians post everything, from baby names to BBLs, filtered selfies to their kids' first words. They've made billions by letting the public into every corner of their lives. But ever since the Diddy scandal hit mainstream headlines, radio silence. Nothing. Not even a carefully worded thoughts and prayers post. Kim Kardashian, the same woman who once did a high-fashion photo shoot inside a prison to promote criminal justice reform, hasn't said a single word. And let's be real, Kim never misses an opportunity to shape the narrative. Whether it's a divorce, a brand drop, or a cheating scandal, she's always first to speak out. But now, crickets. Kylie? Quiet? Kendall? MIA? Courtney? Silent. It's like someone sent out a mass group text. Don't post. Don't tweet. Don't breathe. Why? Because if the rumors are true, these girls aren't just distancing themselves. They're lawyering up. Multiple sources have said Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble have been spending a suspicious amount of time out of the country. Some say it's a European vacation. Others believe it's a strategic dodge, avoiding subpoenas and possible questioning. And considering Corey's rumored ties to Diddy's operation, it wouldn't be shocking if federal investigators were looking to get him on record. But here's where it gets even messier. There's a growing theory that Kris has been using the family's church. Yes, the Kardashian family literally runs a tax-exempt church as a money laundering front. Allegedly, it's how they've been funneling hush money to pay off Diddy's victims. Just think about it. Slap a donation label on it, say it's for the community, and boom, washed clean. We've seen Kris pull PR stunts before. But this time, no red carpet, no press release, no "We Stand with Survivors" Instagram story. Just total silence. And when the Kardashians aren't talking, that's when you really need to start paying attention. But let's jump to the most unhinged twist yet. On the podcast The Nerve, journalist Megyn Kelly revealed something jaw-dropping. And this ain't a tabloid rumor. This is firsthand. She said, and I quote, "The thing I remember is P. Diddy in the restroom, cozying up, the women's restroom, that's why I was there, dry, humping a Kardashian."
There was P. Diddy in the restroom of the Met. It was the women's room, that's why I was there, dry humping a Kardashian.
Like, I heard the dry humping anecdote, but I don't think you revealed the name.
Yeah, there were multiple Kardashians in there, and like that other sort of lame supermodel version, you know, like not the real supermodels like we grew up with, but like these new influencer types.
Right.
They were all in there. No one was using the bathroom. They were smoking and dry humping, and that was P. Diddy. Like, I'm just saying there's a pattern of disrespect for others and our sacred places and things that should be treated as inviolate. And it applies to places and it applies to people. And I have no idea what this guy's capable of, but I think it's probably worse than we can even imagine.
Let that sink in. A grown man. A public figure. Inside the ladies' room. Dry humping a member of the Kardashian family. At the Met Gala. Now Megyn didn't specify which Kardashian it was, but based on past guest lists, it had to be someone from the main crew. Kim? Kylie? Kendall? Who knows? But the internet has been spinning trying to match timelines, outfits, and photos from past MET galas, and let's just say several names fit. Now, let's move on to another person tied to the Kardashians. If there's one person who's been trying to blow the whistle, it's Kanye. Love him or hate him, Ye has been yelling about Diddy, Corey, and the Kardashians for years now. He said they tried to lock him up using lithium. He said Diddy was working with the feds to silence him.
Poison me, and by the way, y'all done already with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something now.
He even claimed Diddy was blackmailing high-profile celebrities with freak-off party footage. And now? It looks like some of that might be true. Kanye allegedly flew across the country to retrieve Kim's old tapes in 2022, but Ray J says that never happened. So what tapes was Kanye talking about? Could they have come from Diddy? Could Kanye have been trying to protect Kim or control her? Now, what's even crazier is that Kanye had jumped on the other side. Yup, he's on Diddy's now. Like, he's basically advocating for Puff on social media and boasting how much he loves him. In a video Kanye posted, you can even hear him praising and complimenting the music mogul.
You know what I'm saying? It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing with you. You know what I'm saying? I need you out there, you feel me?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again. And, I'm gonna see you soon, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be. You gonna definitely beat this shit. Yeah. Yes, sir. And that's it.
That's all, baby. But I'm gonna make sure I call you back or something. It'd be good to hear your voice again.
Yeah.
Like 59 more days for trial, so I'll definitely be touching in to tap into your energy or something.
Yeah.
Play me some shit over the phone, give me some fucking life. This fucking sad. I'm from daddy in jail. This fucking sad.
That's insane.
It looked like all his accusations about Diddy did not weigh anything, and now he's on the mission to defend Puff from all the people trying to put him in jail. It's messy. But if the rumors are true, Diddy had blackmail on nearly everyone. And if Kim, Khloe, Corey, and Kris were even remotely involved, they're all potentially targets, witnesses, or co-conspirators. So let's put it all together. The Kardashians weren't just at Diddy's parties. They were tied in deep. Multiple daughters, their partners, their boyfriends, their momager, even their church. Now Diddy's going down in flames, and the people he partied with are either playing silent or running. The Kardashians haven't said a word. Kim's pretending like Skims is her only priority. Khloe's posting vague quotes on Instagram. Corey and Kris might be dodging the feds in Europe. And now a respected journalist is saying she walked in on Diddy humping a Kardashian in a women's bathroom? Yeah, this ain't a coincidence anymore. So the only question left, are the Kardashians next? Will the feds knock on their door, or are they going to keep hiding behind sunglasses, filters, and silence? Either way, keep watching, because this trial, it's far from over. And the truth is just getting started.